All right, hi, Richard Moore here from 8StepStartup. Hope you're having a good Friday, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Just because it's Friday and you're about to hit the weekend, it doesn't mean ease up. It's still part of your week. Every day is, in fact, all 7 of them. So make sure you're doing everything you can to smash out your day, whatever you're up to. One thing I've been involved in for the past 15 years is coaching sales, and there's literally hundreds of salespeople that work across different industries and products that I've been involved in. But there's a common issue across many of them, which is when it comes to engaging with a prospect and looking at identifying what their actual needs are. And this actually comes down to semantics a lot of the time, and simply put, a lot of people think that when it comes to identifying the need, actually it's best to just talk about what they think is cool with a product. The reality here is that if you talk about what you think is good about your product, well, look at the words I'm using, it's all about you, when in fact you're not uncovering so much of what the prospect's after. Now the thing is, what you think is good about your product is probably going to be quite cool, and it may well be that that resonates with your client, and even though it's not quite what they're after, it makes them feel good too, and it's more than likely that they may buy. But as I often say, there's buying and then there's running at you, throwing their money at you because they desperately want what you're after. So when it comes to presuming the need, which is what really people are doing a lot of the time, bear in mind that you may be weighting slightly more on particular benefits when in fact something else is really what gets them going. You'd be surprised every so often, some people really like things you never would have thought would be particularly valuable, but are still part of your proposition, and it may be because of particular circumstantial things. You know, they maybe need particular little things that you go, okay, yeah, we do that too, I didn't really think you'd want that, but that's the be all and end all for them. So these are things you have to uncover. And you know, it goes without saying, well, it should do at least, that you need to ask questions, intelligent ones, to uncover more information about what this person's after. But really what I want to get at today is that when it comes to identifying the need of someone, you need to think about needs and wants, okay? There are things that people need, and you've got to use words like what is essential. Something that's essential for someone is something that they need. If someone lives out in the country and they work in the city, then they need to have some form of transport to get there. So if they've decided that a car is the way to go, well then they need a car, okay? They may want a Ferrari, who doesn't, right? But they need a car. So you need to get that thing, that right for starters, right? Because if you can focus on need, you're a step closer to the actual nub, or kind of the crux of what they're after. But where people go wrong is they don't go far enough in understanding need, because there's things that they need and then there's things they really need, okay? So try thinking about rephrasing this yet again. From presuming the need, we're moving towards identifying the need, but actually you want to go a step further to really be effective and be at a point when you're closing where someone's like breathlessly wanting to buy. I've had people pumping the air saying, yes, I'm glad I get to buy your product, thank you so much, this is gonna really help me. It's not when I've identified the need, okay? It's when I've identified the pain. So there's need, right? There's a number of things you may need, fine. But what's the thing you really need? The thing you really need is actually where your pain is, okay? The thing that challenges you, the thing that, you know, you've heard these lines before, the things that keep you up at night. The thing that if left unchecked for the next 3 or 4 months, you're in big trouble, and that's gonna really affect your business, so you really need to buy that, okay? So when you've got a product that's a nice to have, it's not a, you know, you can argue different terms for the word commodity, but it's not an essential part of you know, your tool belt. You don't have to get your product or service. Well, then you need to look at what elements of it are essential. And if you find a client who talks about things that are really essential in what they need, because that's going to help them overcome a real problem, then suddenly you're in the territory of talking about things that are really going to resonate with them. okay? The result is you're speaking not just their language and talking about things that they really are, desiring, but also getting down to kind of the more emotional side of things, where deep in their mind they're thinking to themselves things like, there's fear here, there's going to be rejection here, there's going to be problems with my mortgage payments, there's going to be slowdown in my company's growth, or if you're selling to people or consumers as opposed to businesses, then they may be saying that it's going to be that I miss out on X, Y and Z unless I have this core thing. So it's the thing that's going to cause them real pain, usually on an emotional level, is really what you've got to be tapping into, okay? Think about what kind of questions can uncover pain for someone. Don't be too mean, right? You want to uncover it and maybe stir it a little and find out exactly through spin questioning things like what the implication would be if they didn't address that pain or that concern. What would it look like if they didn't solve that particular problem? But when you identify what their real pain is, you can construct your proposition and talk about the benefits of your product or service as it relates to that particular issue. Suddenly we're not talking about things that might be quite cool to buy if they had a spare bit of cash and just wanted to take a punt on it, but actual real things that are going to make the difference between staying up all night stressing and actually getting a good night's sleep because one part of their business is they've got that issue solved because you provide something that's really going to make the difference, okay? Hope that helps. This is a major issue for a lot of people, and this is the difference between someone at the end of a pitch saying to you, yeah, I see how it works, yeah, it even makes sense, it's good, I like it, it's a nice product, I'm not going to buy it, or if I do, well, you know what, it needs to be massively discounted, I'm not feeling like I'm compelled to get this right now, okay? As opposed to, fantastic, I'm so glad you got in touch with me, you've highlighted exactly what I need right now. And don't be fooled, people who say, oh, I'm fine right now, where business is going well and all that kind of thing, there's always a challenge, there's always something that if you dig deep enough and probe enough, you'll uncover that they need to address and deal with, okay? Otherwise their business isn't really going anywhere, okay? Challenges and problems are indicators that they are trying to grow and improve themselves, and that's really what you need to tap into when it comes to identifying pain, okay? Hope that helps. Really looking forward to hearing from you. So a lot of good comments come out of some of these posts, and keep sending through things that you want me to talk about. But yeah, have a great Friday. Keep going. Speak to you soon.